G'day everybody, I'm the Red Scar and this is Red Scar Gaming. Today's my summary of this, my first draft with Lost Caverns of Ixalan deck. I went mono black, wasn't terribly happy with it at the time, and it didn't do very well, honestly. Just looking at it at the moment, I can see a few errors, but hopefully you can learn from them. And yeah, as per the usual, I'll go through each card and tell you what I think of them. Dead weight I had some success with. It's usually a pretty good early game removal, though. Yeah, two's alright. I'm pretty happy with the two. Greedy Freebooter is essentially a sack outlet for this set, which I didn't get much opportunity to use it well, though I did get to use the treasure it generated though, mainly because I got a bit unlucky with my ability to draw swamps apparently. Canonized in Blood, I didn't get any good use of. In fact, I don't think I got its trigger once, did I? Yeah, in hindsight, it's probably not what I should have gone with, or I should have put it into play earlier, maybe. Deathcap Marionette, it being a 1/1 Death Touch, is pretty good. For 2 mana, it didn't work out in this particular deck, just because I didn't need the mill as much as I thought I needed. But look, it's the 1/1 Death Touch chump blocker is good. Echo of Dusk, I think, is a generally good card just for 2 mana, even if you're not working around the descend bit. It still has its moments. Sure, it's better if you're in a descend heavy deck, but I think it's just a general vanilla use creature. Fungal Fortitude I did get to use once, but in that particular circumstance, my opponent exiled the creature it was attached to, so didn't really do anything. Mephitic Draft, I think I only got to sack it once, which was good, but I think I needed for it to have gone in my deck, or verify putting it in my deck. I probably should have relied on it a little bit more. Tithing Blade, actually I got pretty good use out of that. I think in a draft it's probably more potent than it would otherwise be, even in a sealed environment. It's probably better in a draft than probably any other format, actually, just thinking about it. Join the Dead, I did get to use a bit, though you'll notice that all of my removal is this end of the spectrum, 1, 2, or 3 mana. Mostly 2, though there's a bit of 1. I think Tithing Blade, in hindsight, was the best as far as removal is concerned, though Deathcap Marionette is useful. So maybe in hindsight I should have relied a bit less on removal. I'm probably thinking one less Tithing Blade maybe. But I think Mephitic Draft didn't do very well. Blood Rage Mycoid, I didn't get nearly as much use out of it as I'd hoped. If I hadn't had 3 of them, I think it would have been a lot better. Or more useful, I suppose I should say. I think I basically just 1 or 2 maybe, but yeah, 3 is definitely too many in at least this sense. Grasping Shadows, I did get a bit of use out of. It's not terribly reliable for draft, I would argue, but it got its use. I'd probably go with it again next time, but I'd probably want to go a little bit more control maybe, so you've only got one sort of creature out. Vito's Inquisitor I got no effective use out of, and for 4 mana as a 3/3, it's just not worth it. It's probably a lot better in a draft that you've got a lot of chump blockers available, but I didn't in this particular point, because while Marionette is a good chump blocker, I would need to sacrifice it, thus making it less available as a chump blocker. So yeah, in hindsight, at least with this deck, I probably shouldn't have gone any of them. Maybe one I would have got away with. Primordial Nora. I'm not a huge fan of that card at the best of times. Discover 3 is not terrible, but it is ultimately a sack outlet in effect. Your opponent attacks, you block with that, both of them die usually. Rampaging Spiketail, I did get to play once, though I used a Swamp Cycling, I think it was all twice actually, but it's certainly a good card to have in a draft, I think. Yeah, I'll definitely grab that again. Captivating Cave, I didn't use, but I'm not unhappy with that. I could have used it. It would have been better if I got the opportunity. I was for a little while going blue as well, so maybe Hidden Contract, Cataract, sorry, would have worked if I was going blue. Relics Raw, that might have been all right in this particular deck because I did have a few smaller creatures. Yeah, though, because I had quite a few, actually just give me a quick look at that. Yeah, because roughly half of my creatures are 4 mana, Relics Raw probably wouldn't have gone very well, but I should have dropped, yeah, maybe half of those creatures anyway. Inverted Iceberg. Inverted Iceberg may have actually been what I should have had instead of Vito's Inquisitor. It's not the easiest thing to get out because you do ultimately have to pay 6 mana. Well, apart from the whole draw and mill bit, you do have to pay 6 mana to get a 6/6, which it's a good card, but you've got to be a little careful that you can actually set it up by turn 6. So I probably should have gone it instead of an Inquisitor. Pirate Hat. I don't think I would have got particularly good use out of. It's certainly a good card, but yeah, there's nothing jumping out at me as far as what I should have got instead of that. Maybe Mephitic Draft. Yeah, Pirate Hat would have been better. Song of Stupefaction is essentially just stop a target creature or vehicle from attacking effectively. It probably would have been good if I could have drawn it pretty early, but I don't think it would have got much use. Skullcap Snail, maybe in hindsight, that would have been better than even a Vito's Inquisitor, simply to slow my opponent down and use it as a chump blocker for a trigger of, say, Mycoid. The Screaming Phantom. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that card. I haven't seen it have much use yet though, so probably it might have been good instead of saying Primordial Nora, for 3 mana especially. Instead of maybe Fungal Fortitude or something along those lines. Yeah, just to get that flying, I didn't really need the mill, but I could have at least used it. Ancestor's Aid, I could have splashed any colour. And Ancestor's Aid probably would have been good for splashing something, simply because I created a treasure token. Basking Capybara, because green was another one that I did think about splashing. Basking Capybara would have been, good. Descend is better in standard or historic rather than draft, but it's still a pretty good ability because you don't need to worry about your graveyard being exiled too much, or comparatively anyway. Disturbed Slumber, I'm glad I didn't go with that one. I'm not a fan of turning a land into a creature and it not turning back. Wow, words. Because it can be destroyed. So I got to be a little bit careful with that. Over the Edge is probably one that I should have gone with. There wasn't many opportunities that I got to destroy target artifact or enchantment, but it's certainly a useful tool. and I would have certainly used the Explore ability twice. Probably on Echo of Dusk actually would have been best. Though Primordial Nora wouldn't have been terrible either, just to make its toughness a bit more than 2. Staggering Size, yeah, I probably could have got some use for that. Yeah, Mephetic Draft, maybe even Join the Dead. Yeah, Primordial Nora, yeah, something a bit high mana would have helped there. Spelunking, in this particular setup, probably wouldn't have been worth it. Earthshaker Dreadmore is just a powerful card, basically. I wouldn't have got, let's just have a quick look. I wouldn't have got its dinosaur trigger very often, but even just a 6/6 trample is fine. The Ukenbach, I've had some success with it in, like, say, local game store sort of situation. It's probably not something I should have gone, that I should have got rid of, I mean. Just to splash blue, instead of, say, Primordial Nora, because it is still the 5 mana, and at least opportunistically can be better for a control deck, and Primordial Nora is not as much control, and Promising Vein would have been good regardless of what colours I splashed. I could have even splashed green and blue. I would have basically got rid of probably Dead Weight, one Dead Weight, one Mephetic Draft, and 3 Veto's Inquisitor. Probably also a Mycoid, and probably also a Nora. And yeah, just off the top of my head, but yeah, ultimately I think I put a little too much effort into going mono black, which, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the cards I got, and I was mostly winning the early game. I just didn't win the late game because I just couldn't get big creatures out, was the long story short. Anyway, but learn from my mistakes. That's what these summaries are for. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.